I want to ask you all a question, and this has come from council as well as online. If we don't build water treatment plant 4 and we do all the scrub brushing and all the painting and all that, and we don't build it and something happens at Davis and Ulrich, what is your suggestion for the planning on how to manage that risk?
Well, if the department's really concerned about spills, which I haven't heard of one of those threatening our plant ever, and all your examples were somewhere else, we ought to have a spill response plan that makes sure we know what to do. Do we have one?
Well, aside from a spill response plan, though, if anything happens that shuts down Davis or Ulrich or any of the basins,
right? If it's shut down for how long? 2 or 3 days? We can get through that. We're going to spend $500 million on this incredibly remote risk based on pure anecdote and not a shred of risk assessment, which is standard industry practice to do. In the opening, Mr. Mazzaro said, oh, we're going to build water treatment plant 4 and it's going to operate for a century. Well, why can't the plants we have operate for a century? The city's own 1994 long-range plan says, and I'll read it to you, the Davis plant is expected to continue functioning at its current capacity, 120 MGD, throughout the 45-year planning period. That's to 2040. Water plants are like highways or train stations. You keep continuously upgrading, or state capitals. You don't throw them away. You continuously upgrade them. And our water utilities are doing that. They shut down Green for a real estate deal, as Brian said. That was a huge mistake. They never assessed the financial impact. They had a proposal on the table saying we could rebuild Green with new membrane technology. You know, we're supposed to be an innovative technology city, using only 20% of the site, so the other 80% could be redeveloped. Get 90 MGD as opposed to only 50 from water treatment plant 4, and do all of that for $122 million. So less than a quarter of the cost. So cities almost never abandon plants. They continuously upgrade them, just like we continuously upgrade highways and state capitals. And we do that work in the winter when the demand is low. Ms. Lutz raised a concern about, well, what if we have an outage in the summer when the peak demand is really high? Well, what if we do? Well, we just went through, not an emergency, but a long emergency called 60% empty lakes. And our drought contingency plan required curtailment. The community responded, and our water use dropped almost in half at the stroke of a pen. This community will respond, and we'll take care of ourselves for a few days, a couple of weeks. And in the case of long-term drought, we're going to have to take ourselves for decades. That's where our real risk is that we're not going to have any water to even put in this plan in the future.